Ian pointing Microsoft off the 8 on the 5-minute chart. 8 exponential moving average. Yep, bounced right off of it right there. Momentum moving up. Nice little move in Microsoft right there. DB moving, yeah, just moving sideways right now. Still waiting to see if we get some increase to volume. And again, it's had some good volume today. Volume's still up on these candles, so we are getting some volume. But it's pulled right back to the 8. So did Microsoft, pull right back to the 8. Now popping. $493 is the resistance on Microsoft. 493. Nice little move in Microsoft here, coming right off of this compression. Momentum moving up. And volume pretty good in Microsoft. I took some Microsoft calls for next week. This is not an UMCAT trade. This is a standard trade. I expect to get out of it today. I took some 485 calls on Microsoft. 485 calls for next Friday. I paid $775 for them. They're up to 805 already. They're just in just one candle here, and I'm not going to hang around in this too long. But I did take next week's just to mitigate any kind of time decay if it pulls back today. Nice little bounce off the 8 though in this Microsoft trade right here. Yeah, I'm not going to hang in this for too long. It's moving up pretty nicely right now. I'm probably going to take profits pretty quickly. I get in for 775. It's trading at 812 right now. DB trade still trading at about 55 cents right now. There's a DB trade right there, starting to bounce up. Microsoft still looking pretty good. I got an 875 sell order on Microsoft. I'll take $100 a contract on this thing if I can get out that quickly. I still like it on the daily chart. This is a daily chart on Microsoft right here. I still like it long. It's got resistance right up here, and if I can get profits on it today, I'll take it because it is getting a little extended. But this is a pretty nice move in Microsoft right here. And 5-minute chart looks pretty nice. So again, if I can get 875, I'll take it. It's going for 8.27 right now. So I'm up about $50 a contract on it, just in one candle. All right, see if we have any questions here. A few. Hey, Joe. Hey, I saw that one. Is Microsoft still a buy now, and what strike? Again, I'd be using this is it's kind of leaving the station here right now, but I would be using next week's calls. And again, I use next week's calls on Microsoft. They use the 485 in the money calls. But this is moving away pretty fast. Right now it's 8.43. I'm going to be out of this thing in about, if it moves 30 cents more. So I don't think I would jump into it right now. I think this was the place to get it, was right as it came off the 8. As Dan pointed out right here, it came off the 8 with a pop out of the box. Went from selling yellow to buying blue right there. That was a nice SPY Super System setup trade on Microsoft. I did take next week's call to give myself a little cushion in case it starts to pull back. I'm not using an UMCAT on this one right now. I did earlier, and I get in at 66 and I get out for $1.02. But I'm in this regular calls on this right now. See if it continues up. But I wouldn't chase it right here. I'd wait. And again, I can't post anything for a swing trade right now until I see what the SPY does today. Right now it's just above the 15 EMA. Yesterday it closed below the 50, so the market was set up short. Today we gapped up this morning, and the stock has gone right to resistance. The SPY has gone right to resistance, and I don't really want to take any long trades on the swing trades until we close above this 8 and 15 right here. Yesterday I took the Roblex short because we were below the 50 right there, the red line, and closed below the 50. That's very bearish. Then we get a gap up this morning on the CPI number. So Roblex, however, is doing okay. It's down today and it's moving in that direction, even though the market's up. I had relative weakness, so we took relative weakness yesterday on that. Sarang, you accidentally bought 21 of those contracts at $8. Okay, yeah. That's kind of the feeling you get when you increase your risk, even when you do it on purpose. When you do it by mistake like that, you get out 5 cents profit on each. Yeah, that's nice. You know what you could have done was taken a profit on the extras and just hold on to the ones that you wanted to take. You know, I assume you'd want to take 2, so you sell 19, and then hold the other 2. What's the Microsoft call again? I'm having trouble catching the call. Again, on Microsoft, I'm going to be out of this thing pretty soon, so it's a little late to try to do this right now. All right. Sarang, your heart is racing. Yeah, that's what emotion is in a trade when you all of a sudden you've got too much risk on. I took the Microsoft calls, next week's calls. I took the 485s. 485s, I paid $7.75 for them. They're going for $8.05 right now. I'm going to try to get out for $8.75 if it moves up. But I wouldn't chase it here. I would wait. It could come right back to the 8 again. And I really, even though I took next week's, I really don't want to swing this if the market's going to stay around the 15 EMA without getting above it. If the market breaks out today and moves up, then I I would be okay holding Microsoft overnight if I need to. But if the market does not get above the 15 and stay above the 15, I'm going to take it off today. But anyway, yeah, I took the Microsoft 485s for next week, 12/26. Paid 775 for them. The 795 right now because it's pulling back. DB just slowly moving up here. Lily slowly moving down. Lily not doing anything since this move up this morning. Joe, another 85% rinse and repeat on Tesla. Not sure exactly what kind of a trade you're taking on it. Still strong. It's right just above resistance right now on Tesla. It's been strong all day. It's really kind of right at 488.54 is the resistance level on it. You happy to be out surrounding? Yeah, it's a big relief when you get out. I've done that. I mean, I think everybody who trades has done that. Yeah, you just wanted to get rid of it. Of course, I mean, I've done this before on stocks by mistake. You were so freaking nervous. Yeah, that's trading. I know it's hard to catch my calls. They seem to come quickly, and by the time I hear you, it's already over. Yeah, and when I find a swing trade like we took on Roblox yesterday, I'll post it. When I'm taking a trade early like this, and it's going to be a quick trade, I have to call it out. I have to tell you about it. I mean, I could just ignore these trades, all right? I could not tell you. I could just take them and trade them, get in, get out, and be done with it. But I'm trying to highlight the particular stocks that I like, and I'm telling you what I'm taking on it. It may not be possible for you to duplicate that because the stock's moving too fast. But I want you to see the stocks that I'm taking and why I'm taking them. That's kind of an educational process on learning how to do that. I'll post the trades that I have time to put out there where we're gonna be able to hold them for a while. But in this market right now, where I don't know if we're gonna be able to go long or go short, everything I'm taking right now is very quick. SPY super system trades, UMCAT trades, that type of thing. So I have to say it fairly quickly because they're moving. They usually move pretty fast. You don't have to take advantage of them, obviously. I'm trying to get you to learn this. You're late to get the good entry price. That's exactly what happens on these, Catherine, and that's why it's the ones that I post are the ones that most everybody can take. But I'm trying to point out the strategies I'm using so that you can duplicate this yourself on stocks when you find stocks like that. Sarang, you turned on your order confirmation right away? Yeah. Those are Joe's fly scalps. Okay, that's what I figured. Call it the Brunderfly. Help me. The Brunderfly. I figured that's what he was doing was butterflies on the Tesla. TPR. Yeah, TPR is a tapestry is a nice nice setup here. It's been compressing and trying to bounce and move up right now. Yeah, that's a nice long setup for a potential swing TPR. Potential swing trade in TPR. Again, my criteria is I got to see where the SPY closes today. You see where it is? It's right at the 15 after closing below the 50. Do we think its market's going to go up? Is it going to reverse back down again to the 50-day moving average? I don't have any idea. So for taking swing trades, it's really, really difficult because I don't know which way to take them right now. Hey, Catherine. Yeah, and listen, you're at work and you don't have time to look for trades. That's why I thought the room is good with someone doing the calls. And I can call, but these really quick calls are not going to be practical to try to get in. But there's plenty of calls that we take where we post them, or I give you plenty of time to do it. But right now, these are very quick trades, so it's not something that you're likely going to be able to duplicate. But there's plenty of trades that you'll be able to duplicate. We usually have 15, 20, 25 a month where we can post or at least give you specific setups. But when they're quick like this, when we're unsure what the market's going to do, very very difficult. Again, and I've got a lot of members in here, and everybody's at a different experience level. Everybody has different amounts of time they can trade in here. Everybody's looking for different kind of trades. They have different account balances, and a lot of people like to make these quick trades with me. And on the SPY Super System trades, which is why I've actually got I got a video on that, so you can actually learn that setup and use it. But it takes time, and the ones that I'm talking about here, like I said, I don't have to talk about these. All right, I could just take these trades, not even mention it in the room. And nobody's going to get frustrated by the fact that they can't get in them quickly enough. It's moving too fast. They won't even know that I'm taking place. But I'm trying to help let you know what I'm taking, why I'm taking it, what the setups look like, etc. For at least for educational type purposes. So, but anything that I post or it's take a long time to talk about or tell you multiple times, it's good to get in it. Then those you could take. Okay. Microsoft back down to 770 by 785 right now. So I think I'm underwater a little bit on those, or roughly break even on them. I try to be real transparent about this stuff, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll take trades that don't work. You'll know about it. Take trades that do work. You'll know about it. That's trading. If people that don't that if you go into rooms where they're not being upfront about stuff that doesn't work, then it's not helping you, because you're going to have expectations that are way overextended, and then you get in there and find out there's going to have some losing trades. I always let everybody know everybody has losing trades, and I'm trying to just take the best ones I can find based on the strategy we've got and based on what the market's doing. Very important to be focused on what the market's doing at any particular point in time, because it drives most of the stocks. The market's not doing anything here right now. But again, I took Microsoft to calls expiring next week to give myself some time in case Microsoft goes through a little bit of a compression or a pullback, which is exactly what's happening here. Oh, Catherine, you're welcome. I understand. When you hear the trades and you think, I want to get into this, I want to get into this, and don't worry about that right now. Let's just worry about learning how to trade some of these things and take the ones that have high probability where we've got a little bit of time on them. Hey, Terry, appreciate Terry says, what I'm doing, showing folks how to test a new strategy, 100 small trades to get the basis, and then after you have confidence in the setup, you can scale up. Exactly, that's exactly right. You feel like the room is missing the component of what you're doing. Yeah, and I had mixed feelings about whether to share this as far as constructing these trades, because I did it with straddles and strangles and things, and I had mixed feelings about whether to actually talk about it, because I know that my concerns are that people are going to be just diving into all kinds of trades with out of the money calls and puts, which they shouldn't be doing. Um, but I'm trying to be transparent so you can see the strategy and development and what the criteria are and see how it's going. So I thought that would be a good learning experience for folks to get an ability to understand this. And we've already got people that understand this and they're actually posting some of the good ones, which is helpful. Yeah, he says, you can do your own tests and see how those work out. But yeah, I appreciate that, Terry. Yeah, you know the trading involves some losses. Oh, sure, Catherine. I'm sure everybody does. They just don't like to think about it sometimes. Shy Qs have relative strength right now, holding the higher today while the SPY's pulling back. Yep, Qs do have relative strength. SPY's fighting that 15 EMA. DB just kind of chopping around here right now. Lilly, which I'm in and losing money on, is not doing much of anything. And Microsoft, which I've got next week's calls on right now, backing off to the 8 a little bit. So running the built-in charting on Tradier. Whoops. The built-in charting in Tradier is a piece of garbage. I don't like the charts that come with any of the trading platforms, to be honest with you. I mean, this is good here because we got the indicators on here, but for going with the regular charts, I think I like TC2000. TradingView is good as well. Those are charting programs. The charts on these platforms, trading platforms. If you actually just bring up the chart, yeah, I don't use them. I think it's worth, if you're going to be a trader, I think it's really worth, personally, I think you should have TC2000 for trading and for additional scans and things. Um, but you need to have the SPY super system, and you should have the SPY super system for the information that you're getting off of these indicators. This is really important stuff here. Yeah, it's hard to trade off of laptops with charts from the trading platforms. It's just not very helpful, I don't think. SPY starting to move down a little bit here right now. Qs also. DB also. Again, when the market moves down, most everything moves down. Most 75% of the stocks typically move down when that happens. Again, taking a look at our Robolex, you can see it's moving down, which is nice. Want to see it keep coming down. Lilly, by the way, is jumping up here with the market coming down, so all of a sudden it's getting some relative strength. Again, I'm still in the Lilly UMCAT trade. Yeah, that putting in a lot of buying too many contracts surrounding that. I've done that before. Uh, I've done it on Tesla before, where I wanted to get 10, and the options were trading at about $1,200, $1,300 a contract. I wanted to get 10, and I bought 100 by mistake, and yeah, it can be pretty disconcerting. That's what emotion sets in there when you've got too much risk on. You didn't even know you were going to put that risk on. Even if you increase your risk and you do it consciously, that you're actually moving up from, let's say, 2,000 a trade, you go up to 4,000 a trade. It's going to impact you if you haven't got used to that. You really need to step up your when you're actually moving up to a higher risk. You need to step it up slowly. You need to move up from like 2,000 to 2,500, then even up to 2,750 or 3,000. You don't want to jump or go from 500 to 750. Don't go from 500 to 1,000. Don't double your risk. It's gonna impact you emotionally. Jumped out of your chairs around, yeah. 100 Tesla will make me pucker. You're right about that. It went up. I mean, it was a good trade, but I cut my profits pretty quick. Um, yeah, Tesla 5 contracts turned to 50. Learn to sell all, but keep your initial size. Yeah, if you can keep your head about your wits about you when that happens, yeah. Trader is flagging Roblex and DB with unusual option. All right. You look at DB. Microsoft's pulled back quite a bit. Yeah, DB does have that's the one I pointed out this I took this morning. The 38 that I took, they had huge amounts of volume. They're up to over 2,000 contracts right now. I didn't know Roblex was. I don't see any unusual options in Roblex. It comes and goes. I mean, after a period of time, it goes away because it's not that unusual anymore. But back to about even on my Lily calls. Microsoft down about $1 a contract right now on this pullback. Again, I got next week's, and as long as it stays bullish on the daily chart, I'm going to stay with it. That's why I took next week's. SPY coming down toward the VWAP here again now. Again, this is really pretty crummy price action on the market. Very, 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 very poor. It's a little after 12 o'clock. SPY coming back down toward the VWAP again. So stocks driving, markets driving some stocks down. Microsoft's pulled back, but just not an awful lot. Still sitting pretty close to the 15, just below it. DB also, not really changed much at all in this pullback in the market. And Lilly bounced up. Now it's pulling back, just putting in choppy candles. AAP looking good for short, Robert. Thank you. AAP, Advanced Auto Parts. Yeah, very nice looking short. Very nice looking short right here. This is the daily chart on AAP. Again, you can see the nice trending down here. If I switch that to Fibonacci candles, you're going to see Fibonacci reversal right here. And this is just a nice smooth downtrend. It's put in a lot of red candles in a row on the daily chart. So I'd be hesitant to try to hold this overnight because it's probably extended from the 8. The 8's at 45.28. And so basically about $4 away from the 8. And you're so 250 is your ATR. So it's almost 2, about 1.7, 1.8 ATRs removed. So I think it's a nice for a day trade, AAP for a short day trade. Not much volume on it, however. Very small volume candles on this AAP. Yeah, that was smart. Terry was mentioning how he increased his size by $500 blocks, starting with 2,000 to 2,500, move to 2,500 to 3, get comfortable, move to 3 to 3,500, and basically you've doubled your trade size now in 6 months, and that's the way you do it, because you get very comfortable with a level, and then you can move up from there later on. Also in a gap on AAP. Thank you very much, Robert. See if I gotta go back to find the gap. Yeah, I see that gap now. It's back on around May 25th. Yep. Pretty big gap, and it does have some high volume candle resistance levels inside of there as well. SPY, wow, flushing here. Flushing. Very big flush. I might have to rethink my Microsoft trade here as well, as it pulls back. Microsoft pulling back with the market. I'm going to give it a little bit of time, again, because I have next week's calls on this. DB also pulling back here, and I might bail on this thing. We'll see what it does at the VWAP. Same thing with Microsoft. There's a SPY went whip right through the VWAP. It's a pretty big drop here. About 1208 right now.
Members taking a peek at markets, we are seeing a volume downtick from highs. No specific headline for this volume drop. Keep in mind, members, we've been seeing a lot of commentary regarding the CPI report. We're posting some in the news desk in regards to a lot of analysts and economists are saying that this report, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, see, it's hard to talk about that CPI report now and about how it was constructed and how much data was missing out of it, and why that you shouldn't take it very seriously. And that's what caused the market to go up this morning on the gap up. Was good CPI.
Battle going on here in regards to the economists and reporters in regards to analysts and stock traders. So we are seeing volatility in markets.
Big move here, SPY. And again, this is I think this is because of the discussion of the CPI. The CPI, which came in lower than expected today, boost the market up, thinking inflation was down based on that report. Now the report's being questioned as far as the data being in there. As I had mentioned earlier, Harry had pointed that out, that the data that was in that report was very questionable. Rents was just one of the things that they were estimating a zero in November, zero increase, just kind of crazy. But we'll see where I'm not chasing this thing down. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not getting out of my Microsoft trade yet, and I'm not getting out of my DB trade yet. I'm going to wait and see. Or Lilly. I'm sticking in Lilly as well. We'll see what this does. Again, this is discussion on the CPI data, and I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have. But basically, they're discounting the CPI data as being valid. Somebody is, the market is, and the algos are joining in. Roblex coming in down about 1.5% right now. The Roblex trade is at 422. We got a 450 sell order on Roblex. 450 sell order on Roblex. By moving toward the 50 SMA, Zarang points out. Yeah, got a ways to get to the 50, but 50 is on the SPY right now. Today is 674.91. 674.91 is the SPY, the 50 right here. I'll change that. Pretty dramatic move down in the market, though. Microsoft flushing down with it. I'm putting right to the VWAP here right now. DB right to the VWAP. Pretty good move down here in the market. Again, you can't trust this market at all right now. Get down below the 50-day yesterday. Gapped up this morning on CPI data that was good. CPI data being questioned. Now the market's going back down again. Very, very tough trading conditions. SPY coming right back down to toward the 50. And Roblex still coming in. And then we get 450 sell on it. It's 422 right now. DB down to about 35 cents. And Microsoft, my Microsoft's down pretty hard. I paid $7.75 for it. It's at $5.70. Down about $2 right now on Microsoft. Again, I have next week's calls. I did that on purpose in case I had to withstand a little bit of a pullback, which I'm getting right now. But I'm not going to get out until we see where the market ends up later on today. SPY still coming in. Q is still coming in as well. No relief in the Russell 2000 either. So again, Russell's up about 0.5% right now. The SPY right now is still up for the day because they had such a deep drop yesterday, but not that much. And triple Q's also green by 1%. So again, it was a big move up this morning off of the CPI report, but it's given back most of it right now. We look at the where it opened this morning. What you see here is this is the gap up. Gap fill is all the way down here. This is a big move up here this morning. Gap fill is way down here, but we're in the gap right now. And you want to keep the magnitude of these things in perspective. We look at the daily chart here on the SPY. Oops, on the Qs, even there's the Qs. There's the 5-minute chart, but look at the daily chart. This is what we've got right here. This is yesterday's candle. We moved up nicely today, right through the 8 and the 15, and now we're right back in the middle of yesterday's candle. Same thing with the SPY, coming right back down toward the 50-day moving average again after moving up above it. Looked like we're going to break out, and now we're right back down into it again. Again, really very poor price action for trading. Got to be pretty nimble on these things. I'm stuck in Microsoft, which I'm not going to get out of right now, and I'm stuck in DB, which expires tomorrow. But again, it's a small, very small position because it's an UMCAT test stock, so we'll see what it does. But if you want, I would, if you want to take it off right now, I wouldn't blame you. I don't know what you can get for it. Get about 30 cents. I'm not sure you can. Let's see. Yeah, you can get about 30 cents for it. I'm going to take it off on DB because I don't have a lot of time on this, and I'm not sure if we're going to get any kind of a significant bounce today. All right, so I took my DB off. It closed at 32, and I paid 50, so I lost 18 cents on it, which is a pretty good percentage of the trade. I mean, less than 50%, but still out. So I'm out of DB. That's an UMCAT trade that went bad, even though I used an in the money call. I'm done with that one. SPY still coming in. Not getting much of a relief bounce here at all. About 12:22, just watching to see if we do get a bounce, any kind of significant bounce in the SPY. It's down pretty close to the 50-day moving average. 50-day was as I said, was 674.90. We're pretty close to it right down here. Oops, sorry, wrong index. SPY 674.90. Yeah, that's basically touching the 50 and trying to bounce off of it. Okay, so I took my loss on DV. That's a UMCAT trade. I'm gonna record that as a loss. Haven't had very many. and Microsoft today, which was a winner on the UMCAT trade. I'm still in it long here for next week. I have an UMCAT trade in Lilly, which I'm going to hold on to for a little bit longer. See what that does. Roblex, low of the day here. Don't need too much more move in Roblex to take profits in this trade. It's trading at 440 right now, just 10 cents away from our target on Roblex. It was still weak all day long. Even when the market was going up, it was very weak. And there goes Roblex. Okay, so Roblex just sold for 450. Sold for 450. We took $80 contract profits on that. It's a little over 20%. 22%. The answer is just about even on the KSS short leg. Yeah, I haven't even really looked at that today. Again, I'm not going to worry about it tomorrow. It's still staying above the. It's still between the 8 and the 15 on KSS. Again, this week's we're down just 3 cents on the short from this week. Yeah, it's pretty much even. So we got $81. We sold it for 81. If it can back up to around 23.50, we get a lot of that. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The 116 puts that we bought for 95 cents for January are 77. So they're down about 18 cents right now. We're down 3 cents this week, but we're up 69 cents last week. So we're up 66 minus the 18. So about 38 to $40 a contract profit in KSS right now. We just do this each week. We just try to keep rolling these things out. Again, I'm still holding Microsoft for into next week. I took my DB off. That was an UMCAT that did not work. I'm still in Lilly. We're going to see what that does yet. I'm going to see if we get a bounce. It had some pretty good news, so I'm looking to perhaps that news will move it back up again here later on today. All right, and again, it's about 12:27. An interesting day so far. Pretty wild. Nice move up this morning on CPI data, which is now being questioned, which drove the market back down again. Still green for the day by about 0.67% on the SPY. Quite pretty good move on this big gap up here this morning. but we're trying to get back down. We gapped up and then we moved up beautifully, and now we pulled right back down again. Got through the 15 EMA this morning on the daily chart, and now we are moving back down. Well, now we're starting to bounce a little bit. Again, you got to find stocks right now that have good relative strength, relative weakness, that are trending to take any kind of trades on them at all. See if we have any questions over in the YouTube channel. Hey Tony, what I have from the chart is considered the SPY super system. What you have on the chart is considered the SPY super system. Well, the SPY super system is actually a methodology using the current time frame momentum on a 5-minute chart. Current time frame momentum on a 5-minute chart, and then using that in conjunction with the support resistance levels, which would be the VWAP, the 15, the 8 exponential moving average here, the VWAP here, and the 15 EMA here. Those are all support resistance levels. What you do is you trade this like this would have been right here, would have been a SPY super system entry on the SPY as a short. Right here as it broke down below the 8 and the VWAP right there on this candlestick, and this was red, which was bearish. Yellow and red is bearish. It went from buying right here, bullish, to selling right here. Then you take it as it breaks below here and write it down, and then you take profits now. That's the SPY super system. You can do it on the SPY, the Qs, the IWM. You can do it on the futures. You can do it on stocks. You can do it on any stocks that you want. If you like a stock that was a good short, like Roblex this morning, had a decent short. You see how it compressed here? See how it went from buying to selling right there? On that breakdown below the 8 and the 15 right there, that's a SPY super system to buy puts right there on Roblex. You would take it down. All right, that's what the SPY super system is. It uses the SPY super system indicators to develop or use as a methodology for trading quick intraday trades on those indexes I just talked about, or stocks. Okay, that's what it is. It's a methodology on it. I have a whole video on it. This in essence is a SPY super system, which is using these indicators to tell us if institutions are in or out of a trade, if they're coming in, coming out, on the current time frame, multiple time frame, and long-term trend. But this is what we use for quick intraday trades on the SPY, Qs, IWM, or any stocks. We're keying on this as whether it's bullish or bearish. Roblex bouncing, we took profits in it already. I need to send that out. That was an alerted trade too. It's 2 actually alerted trades this week we've actually made profits on, so it's been a struggling month, but these 2 helped a little bit. Yes, that Roblex was, again, we get in for about 370, out for 450, 80 cents on a 370 entry. So about 24, 25%, but a decent trade. Okay, so out of that right now, TV trying to bounce back up again. I'm still in Microsoft, just trying to bounce right off the VWAP, and I'm still in Lilly, which is kind of, I don't know, it's just pull back with the market now. I just try to bounce. We'll see if we get any kind of a catalyst bounce based off that news this morning in Lilly, because I'm still in that one. Hey, Sarang, you think one thing you struggle with as a new trader is how to know when I'm okay swinging and how well I can swing. Swinging, listen, and that's why I try to emphasize how important the overall market is as far as swing trades are concerned. As I said today, without the market, without the SPY being below the 50-day for shorts or above the 8 and the 15 for longs, we're kind of trapped in a no swing type area. We did okay with Roblex yesterday, and even though the market went up this morning, it maintained relative weakness because it was so weak yesterday. It was a good. I thought it was a good trade to take overnight, which worked. But there's not a lot of them we can do like that right now because we just do not have a market, and the market is what's going to dictate whether you can take swings or not. All right, you've got to obviously try find the best stock that you can, but you need to have some market with you. Can't swing because on the long side we have 815, right? And the short side we have the 50. That's exactly right. If it crosses the 815 today, is it a good for a long? You might be able to do one long entry on a really strong stock. I wouldn't take a lot. That's why I just took one yesterday with Roblex. Yeah, exactly. You've got it identified perfectly why you can't be taking swings right now. Same on the short side, exactly. Well, it's a struggle for everybody. I don't have time for day trades with school right now, so I'm largely in cash. Yeah, unless I have the confidence to swing, but I feel like I missed the move a lot because I'm not sure if I have confirmation. Yeah, listen, trading is tough. I try to do the best I can on directing everybody and getting you to learn this stuff. It does take time. And as I've been repeating for the last 2 or 3 months, this is a very brutal market to trade. I know a lot of retail traders who have been trading full time who gave up last spring when that tariff thing happened, and right now because they're just getting chopped to bits. And I'm keeping our trade count very, very low in this market just because of that. You want to come out of a crappy market like this into a good market with some capital so that you can trade. And you've been trading a year, and that's I know it seems like a long time, but that's not a long time in trading. And one of the things I'm doing here is trying to help people who are getting started trading. Short people been in for a year or 2 or 6 months to basically shortcut the amount of time it takes to become profitable, to keep you from giving up or getting your account blown up. Because it happens all to traders all the time, and that's I'm trying to help with that. And so when I keep saying don't trade, this is a low probability trading environment. Best not to do swing trades. I'm not trying to just throw cold water on the fact that you want to trade. I'm trying to save you money. Your capital has increased a little bit over the year that you've been trading. That's great, Sarang, because that's listen. Most people when they start trading, it's like going to school, going to college. What you're doing is you end up paying tuition, thousands and thousands of dollars in tuition to learn. And again, I try to have as many strategies as possible. That's why I'm trying to get this UMCAT strategy work, because it's going to allow people to trade, if they want to trade intraday, with some low cost premiums on their options. But you still have to not be under pattern day trader rules, because you're going to be doing a lot more than 5 intraday trades a week, or 3. AMAX, yep. Roblex was night trade. Price target was reached, then it bounced. Yeah, I mean that's. I'm not going to take credit for the fact that we get out right before it bounced. I just was looking for what I thought was a reasonable level to take profits in that thing before it got too far extended from the 8. You notice I didn't set it like at $1. I set it 80 cents. There was a reason for that, because the stock is $1 a lot in a 450 on Roblex. That would be a lot. All right, so still in Microsoft, starting to bounce. Still in Lilly, starting to box. I got out of DB. It's also bouncing up, but it's hard to consider anything like this right now a UMCAT stock. These things do not have, they're not stacking any kind of candles that I'm going to deal with. If I can find something that is during this market pullback, I would. But DB pulled back pretty hard. I'm going to watch it. I still may take some later if it gives me a reason to believe that. But right now, this is what I see in DB. This was an UMCAT setup. See the volume? Gap up, beautiful volume. There's a nice catalyst. There's a catalyst. Moves up. Market collapses. See the market collapse right here? Market internals, market all coming in. So did DB. Notice the volume dropped off though. It sold off on less volume than it rose up on. And now we're starting to get a little bit of an increase in the volume to the upside. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'd like to see these candles turn blue on TC2000. Really kicking in a little bit here. Microsoft kicking in a little bit here. My lunch is going to be kicking in pretty soon. About 5 minutes I'm going to take some lunch. Let me see if we have any more questions. I have to leave at 3:30 today. 3:30. I got to do a webinar at 4:15. So I'm going to leave at 3:30 and try to get it quick ready in 15 minutes. And I'll do that. And then we're back again tomorrow. Again, next week, Christmas week, we got full day trading Monday, Tuesday. Market closes Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Close Thursday, of course, for Christmas. And then Friday, it's going to be open all day, I believe. But I think it's going to be open all day. But it's going to be slow. I mean, there's just not going to be a lot of people around. And we zip into New Year's. So this is a pretty slow trading time of the year right now, and it doesn't take much to move markets around. Again, this CPI data was great this morning. I loved it. Then all of a sudden we're questioning is whether this CPI data was actually constructed under anything that was actually valid. What I looked at just a little while ago that Harry had posted was on the CPI data, and it's very questionable. A lot of stuff in November was treated as zero. Like rents went up 0, really, and so that's going to skew that whole thing. So I think the fact that CPI data was sent the market skyrocketing up, this is making it question it right now. So now we're back to who knows. Apple coming off of a low, Amazon, all these stocks traded. Again, market just directs the market. Market directs everything. When your market drops like this, most of the stocks are going to pull back. If you can find something that was moving up when this was going down, you had pretty good shape. When you find something that was going down when the market was going up, like Roblex this morning, you've got a good short. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. I'm going to close down the YouTube feed. Thank you very much, everybody from YouTube, for being here today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching the room here. You can see what the market's doing. Good move up this morning on a gap up. Ground up pretty far up to the 815 EMA on the daily, and then it's pulled right back again. Touched the 50-day moving average again that it went through yesterday, and now it's bouncing off of that, coming right up to the VWAP, which is going to be resistance most likely. And again, I took my DB UMCAT trade off. I may put it back on again if it gets strict, if it sets up a structure that I can use. Right now, I'm not going to. I'm in Lilly as an UMCAT trade as well, and I'm in Microsoft for kind of a short-term swing. I get next week's calls on Microsoft. All right, going to close down YouTube. Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions, you can call Rory at Right Line. 786, or is it? 786-732-4656, or write support at rightlinetrading.com, or just go to rightlinetrading.com and you can see all of the information out there on getting the software, buying the software, coming into the room as a member, or getting on the alert service as a member. All right, so thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow back here Friday about 11:30. Have a great afternoon. Trade well.